Renegade Radio. Tune in, don't be shy. With Franky Slawson leading the ride. Monday nights, the airwaves come alive. With voices in the dark, like shadows they survive. Join the rendezvous, let the stories weave. Franky leads the night, you just gotta believe.
Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Diane says Executive Properties did a roof project and remodeled a bathroom in our house. We were happy with their quality of work, and the projects were completed in a timely manner. We will use Executive Properties for our next home project. Get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273.
Need a tow? Then call John Lutz Towing Service. 3 radio dispatch trucks, including a unique flatbed to pick up low-profile vehicles. And a road service truck with flat tires, dead battery, out of gas, will be there in a flash if you're stranded. John Lutz specializes in custom towing, low-profile cars, and long-distance towing. Fully insured, low rates, damage-free towing. Call John Lutz Towing Service. We don't want an arm and a leg, just your tow.
Watch out. Fargo's calling me. What you gonna do? Got the blues in my heart, and it's coming for you. Playing loud now. Rolling through the Dakotas, feel a cold wind bite. Guitar case in hand, stage in sight. The crowd's gonna roar under Fargo's moonlight. Watch out, watch out. Fargo stage set high. What you gonna say? Them Fargo blues will carry us away. With every mile closer to that bluesy shore, the rhythm in my veins I can't ignore. Fingers itch for strings, eyes on the prize. Fargo's festival, where the blues come alive. Watch out, watch out. Fargo's calling me, the spotlight's burning bright. Got my 6-string ready, amps turn all the way. Echoes of the legends who once came to play. The spirit of the blues, it never dies. Under Fargo skies, we'll rise and rise. Feel the soul in every note. Hear the hearts reply. In Fargo town, we let the blues fly high. the distant hum of that train's farewell. I'm bound for Fargo where the stories dwell. The legends walked this path before, and now it's my turn. Feel that fire igniting, see that stage burn. Watch out, watch out. The blues in Fargo town, they won't let you down. They won't let you down.
Renegade Radio, tune in, don't be shy. With Franky Slawson leading the ride. Monday nights, the airwaves come alive. With voices in the dark, like shadows they survive. Join the rendezvous, let the stories weave. Franky leads the night, you just gotta believe.
And here we go. Hey, what's going on, Pa? What's going on, man? How you doing?
Greetings and salutations, my friends.
Yes, and then finally, after 6 years of waiting to do an interview with you since the days of the Fargo Blues Fest.
Shouldn't have been that hard.
Well, I didn't know that you and Mark were working together. So, I mean, if I would have known that a long time ago, I would have suggested it years ago.
Well, here we are, the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, if you see I don't know if you see the picture of the corner there. That was you and I at the Fargo Blues Fest in 2019.
I see it. 2019. Holy cow!
Yeah,
you know, I fit into those pants now.
Yeah, that's good. I've kind of been following your story since when I met you and everything. And I mean, I've known a lot about you, prior to the introduction, obviously, that's why I wanted to interview you at that time. But, since then, a lot has happened, a lot of good, bad, and beyond, I guess, we'll say. But it's nice to know that you're still around. I mean, after everything that you've been through, the fights that you've fought and everything, man, you're one brave soul, my friend.
Well, I mean, I think that's an overstatement. I think that the human condition makes us all subject to anything happening to anyone at any time. So it's a thing called life, man. Life happens. And
absolutely.
If you stick around, something's going to happen. You got to deal with it. Then you have a choice. The choice is stand up or lie down. And I'm just not ready to lie down.
That's right. And was it just the years of torture on your body that you put yourself through, of just not really taking care of yourself, or what was it that caused it?
I wouldn't say I didn't take care of myself, because I'm actually a fairly healthy individual. I'm not a partier. I got that out of my system in my 20s. By the time I was 25, I didn't really drink much. I didn't do drugs. Smoked a little weed occasionally, but I didn't party. I didn't stay out all night. I was married. But I was doing 300 dates a year, and that for 35 years. Takes a toll on your body, takes a toll on your spine. In 2001, I was involved in a very bad rollover accident with my van on the way to the New York State Blues Festival. That took a toll on my spine, and the culmination of that, and also carrying around too much weight, and also some what do they call that? When you're born with something, congenital things with my spine. My spine just wound up in very, very serious condition, and I needed emergency surgery a year ago, which caused me to cancel a lot of work and spend 2 months in the hospital with a lot of complications, and go through an extensive rehabilitation where I had to relearn how to walk and relearn how to use my hands, which are starting to work again. I'm saying, and basically, you're faced with a choice, man. You want to be a champ or a chump.
That's right.
That's really how I look at it. And there's a lot of chumps, man. Go hang out at the bar. You'll hear all the chumps and all the musicians who used to have gigs.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know where you're coming from. A lot of people that had dreams and decided that other things were more important or whatever than their dreams.
Well, whatever. Everybody's got their priorities. I'm just saying that it's life is hard, and if you have any expectation that it's not going to be, God bless you. I hope it's not.
Just like your song, it's a hard road, dude.
It's a mighty hard road.
That's right. Well, I mean, I want to introduce you, do a proper introduction to you or for you, because I feel like you definitely deserve it after everything that you've done in your life, and just the fact that we love. I've always been a big fan of yours. I've followed your music since 2013. Is when I first got introduced, and I think I don't know, is your camera acting up at all? Because it looks like we're now also we don't get to see you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. It just seems like you have. I don't know if it's just your Wi-Fi or whatever. Because I can hear you as long as I can hear you. I guess it doesn't really matter.
I'm looking. Oh, there we go. We're back. I lost you for a second. Yes,
yeah,
I'm here.
I think it's just Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi likes to act up, especially when we do interviews. It's always fun when that happens. But anyway, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Papa Chubby, and if you don't know Papa Chubby, you should go look him up. Get his music. I found you. I think it was a video I watched. Somebody did a thing on you on YouTube or whatever a long time ago, and ever since I first started hearing your songs and whatnot, your style is definitely different than most. I mean, which is good because you should have your own style. I mean, you shouldn't really want to copy other people, even though there are legends and stuff that you have been inspired by, especially like Freddie King and all that stuff. But you have your own style. Your style is kind of, I'm going to call it like raunchy blues, kind of like sometimes a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, there's probably stuff I'm missing out on or I'm leaving out on. But the way that I hear your lyrics, the way that I hear the songs, I mean, they're not all about just fucking and having a good time or whatever. There's inspirational songs too. But when I first started hearing your albums and stuff, it was a lot of cussing, a lot of dirty language and stuff.
What are you talking about? What cussing? What dirty language? What are you talking about? You show me one record I had where I cuss or use dirty language.
I think you use like
that should be a problem for anybody.
No.
Is this? See, here's my problem with the whole damn blues community, man. It's a bunch of colloquial, freaking closed-minded people who only want to hear what they want to hear. I don't do that. So when you say, yeah, I'm a different flavor, absolutely. I'm a different flavor. I fly my own flag. I float my own boat. But I defy you to find one record where there are more than 2 cuss words. And then I ask you to go back and listen to every Muddy Waters record or Junior Wells record or James Cotton record and count the curse words in those.
That's true. That is true.
So
true.
Where are we coming from with this? Just
well, because I think the first time I ever heard a song of yours, I heard you say the word blowjob. So I don't know. That's like I think you said somewhere. I think it was the word blowjob. I believe it was like in your early like.
So whoa! Take a step back. How is blowjob a cuss word?
I don't know.
How is it a cuss word? Yes, you're talking about the song "Sweat," where I say a blowjob is better than no job, and
there you go. There you go. That's where we're coming from. No. See, I don't take it personal myself. I love that. That's what got me kind of interested in your trying to listen to your music because I like that. It took.
You know what? There's no wrong reason to come and be a Papa Chubby fan. And if that does it for you, fine. And if the inspirational stuff does it for you, fine. And if the guitar stuff does it for you, fine. I have a lot of different facets that offer a lot of things to a lot of people, which I think is what sets me apart from a lot of other artists in this genre. I am not one dimensional. I have many dimensions, and I think people appreciate it. I also think I kind of appeal to the people who are more on the fringe and the disenfranchised, which guess what? There are a lot of out there, man. If you let me put it to you this way. If you went to the prom, graduated high school, go to church on Sunday and don't curse, maybe you might want to listen to somebody else. That's all I can tell you.
No, I love
now
it.
let's talk about Freddie King. You want to talk
Yes.
about a debauched oh man. So Freddie died at the age of 38 after coming to New York, flying into New York to play a show. He flew back to Texas sick as a dog, was admitted to the hospital. They found massive ulcers, gallbladder, everything that could be wrong for a bluesman, because Freddie played 300 shows a year. After the show, he would drink all night, play poker, womanize. You see, that's the blues, my friend. That's what the blues is, man. I played with all the old cats, man. I know what they was doing. That's the real deal.
That's good.
So now we want to sugarcoat everything. We want to make it Disney.
Yeah.
We want to make the blues Disney. Ain't gonna happen, man. It just ain't gonna happen, man.
No, you don't want to do that. I mean, geez, if you did that, then what the fuck? What's the purpose of you making music anymore? Then if you're gonna do
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch that language. Watch that potty mouth.
On our show on Renegade.
You're the one who's cussing, and you say I am.
See, on our Renegade Radio, if you were on our live show, you would know that we kind of, it's like an adult theme type of show. It's not about porn or anything like that, but we have a lot of adult topics.
What kind of show is it? It's like my wife when she says, "Don't yell at me," and she's the only one yelling.
That's right. No. I'm very entertained by this because I knew that you were gonna be as real and authentic as you can be, because you gotta be. I mean, and the life of a bluesman, just like you say. I mean, it is hard times. It is drinking and trying to find yourself and most blues people don't want to hang out with fake people. They don't want to hang out with people that are trying to be a copy of them. They want originality, and that's why I like about you. I mean, you just it's pure originality. When I listened to you when you were in Fargo, and you were playing your concert in Fargo,
I'm coming back. Yeah. I'm coming back to Fargo.
Oh, you are? Okay.
This year, I'm coming back to Fargo. I'm coming back and doing the Fargo Blues Festival.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And I remember that show. It was great. It was me. Rick Estrin played before me. Mm-hmm. And then Eric Gales played right after me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do believe that was the last time that you were there, as far as I remember anyway. But I remember that your show, and I remember how good it was, and just to see you live, because I've never seen you live before prior to just watching videos and everything. So to experience a live Papa Chubby concert is an experience in its own right, I would say. Would you agree as far as the way you play your live music compared to recording?
We try to throw a party when we do a live show. That's what it's all about. It's about throwing a party. We're trying to bring a party to the people, man. That's really the beginning and end of it, man. And I ain't there to show you how cool I am or how badass I am or that I'm the best guitar player who ever lived in the genre or that I play the 5-note pentatonic scale better than all the other guys. I'm there to help you realize that your soul is free and deserves to be free. And in that moment, you can let go and you can feel good about who you are and what you do.
Sure.
That's my job, man.
Well, let's kind of learn a little before we start talking about your new album and everything, and talk about everything that you've accomplished in your life. Let's go back to the early days of your youth and kind of like how you grew up. Kind of tell me like your story of why music and what was life like growing up.
Why music was. There was never any choice for me. It was always going to be music from the get-go. I was born singing. I've had 2 major surgeries in my life, and I came out of eat both of them singing in the recovery room.
Yeah.
I guess I was just glad to be alive.
Okay.
And I think if you have to sum it all up, even with all the hardship and difficulties I've had through this existence, being 65 now, I've always been really glad to be alive, man. I've really always seen it as a blessing, and I think that's 99% of the equation is to have the perspective that I'm lucky. I'm lucky to get this shot. I'm lucky to get this opportunity. And I feel the same way about music. I feel the same way about my musical career. I've never taken it for granted. Before I was Papa Chubby, I was a sideman. I was just a musician playing gigs with different people and trying to get paid, man. And so when I started my own band, it was like bonus, super bonus, And then when I started getting work and making records, I couldn't believe it. The whole thing for me has been, I have a thing I say, no one has been more amazed by my success than me. I mean, I'm really both surprised and I have to say in awe of the fact that I've achieved what I've achieved in life up to this point, and I sincerely hope there's more to come. And
Oh yeah.
I started because my parents were big music fans. My parents owned a candy store in the Bronx, and they had a jukebox in the candy store, and I would listen to the records all day long, so I could sing every song. And this was in the '60s, man. And it was the top 40. The top 40 were the Supremes and Otis Redding and Wilson Pickett, and stuff like that, man. And Jimi Hendrix and the Beach Boys and Frank Sinatra. So I got bombarded with all this music, and also I grew up in an Italian household, so I got bombarded with Italian music too. I can still sing Italian music. It's funny. And then I became a teenager, and I started listening to records, and I got into Led Zeppelin and Rolling Stones and Jimi Hendrix and all that stuff. And then it took me a while to realize it's blues. And then an older cat in the neighborhood said, "You got to listen to Freddie King," and he gave me a Freddie King record, and I was like, holy cow, man, what is this? And, I moved to New York. I started playing with bands. I was in punk rock bands, hardcore bands, very integral part of that scene. And then I started just wanting to play real music, man. And I got into Muddy Waters, and I got into Johnny Winter, and I got into, Stevie Ray Vaughan and a lot of more of the modern blues. And I started doing blues gigs. And then I started Papa Chubby in 1990, and I didn't look back. I've been going ever since. 38 records. I've toured the world at least 100 times, and I'm coming back. I'm coming back from a devastating, life-threatening illness, and I'm feeling pretty good about it right now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So the name Papa Chubby. I mean, were there other names that you thought of before you became Papa Chubby, or was this a name that you really thought was going to be good?
No, I thought it was a perfect name because one night I was in a jam session with Bernie Worrell, who was the keyboard player from Parliament Funkadelic. And Bernie was singing a song. And the song was Papa Chubby, Papa Chubby, Papa Chubby. And I went, oh man, what a great name for a band. So I took the name right from that song, right from Bernie, right from the jam. And then people started calling me Papa Chubby, like Jethro Tull, and there's no Jethro Tull, so I became Papa Chubby, and it kind of fit because I was big and Papa-like, and if the shoe fits, wear it.
So what's the difference between Theodore Horowitz and Papa Chubby then? As far as your real name and the persona of Papa Chubby.
Papa Chubby's an asshole.
And Theodore's a wonderful teddy bear.
Wonderful teddy bear of a guy. But that Papa Chubby, I don't like him. Papa Chubby will borrow money from you, not pay it back, sleep with your girlfriend, and steal your guitar.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So in a way, you can say that doing this Freddie King album, it kind of comes full circle, kind of, in a way.
I've wanted to do this record for 30 years. And, if you go back to the beginning for me, my Booty and the Beast record in 1994, produced by Tom Dowd, I covered 2 Freddie King songs. I covered Palace of the King, which was a pretty big hit, and we also covered Same Old Blues, which we redid on this record because I wanted to do a better version of it.
Okay. Yeah, I've listened to what Mark has sent me, and man, it's all good. I mean, there is no bad song. I mean, you can't have a bad song. It's all good stuff, you know. So, what was the idea of like when you decided? Because Freddie, I guess I don't know a whole lot about the guy, but I'm sure he has a good catalog. Was it hard to pick out the songs that you wanted to put in this album?
Well, let me say this. First of all, you owe it to yourself to go back and explore Freddie King because he was that important an artist. And people always talk about B.B. King and Albert King, but Freddie doesn't get as much mention, which is really surprising because he was even more influential when it came to blues rock. Songs like I'm Going Down, for instance. I'm Going Down is probably the most identifiable song in blues rock and one of the most covered as well. So, Freddie had a lot of different periods in his career. Even though he died at 38, when he started off, they were trying to market him as almost a teeny bopper artist to a predominantly white audience. So he was doing all the guitar instrumental stuff during the surf craze, stuff like San Jose and Hip Hugger and Hideaway. And then Eric Clapton found, who always knew about it, but hooked up with him, and he had that period where he was playing with Clapton, and he did a record called Burglar with Mike Vernon producing, who was the producer of the John Mayall and the Blues Breakers Beano record with Eric Clapton. Very quintessential record in blues rock as well. I'm sure your listeners will know about that. And then Freddie had another incarnation with Leon Russell during Shelter Records, where I'm Going Down came out, and Palace of the King, and all that stuff. So it was important to cover all the aspects of Freddie's career and try and pay the proper respect to the diversity of his work.
Okay. No, that makes sense because you're honoring somebody and you wanna do the best job you can. Now would, in order to make this album happen, I mean, kind of explain to myself and my audience kind of the process of when you thought of the idea and then to get the idea rolling and how long did it take to put together?
Well, here's how it went down. A couple of years ago, I had recorded a double live in the studio record, and I spoke to Mike Zito at Gulf Coast about putting it out, and Mike thought it was a good idea, so we put it out. We had great success with that record, and Mike came to me and said, listen, why don't you record another record for Gulf Coast? And I said, I want to do a Freddie King tribute record with special guests. I want to get all my friends to play on it. And he said, give me a list. So I gave him a list of people: Gio Bonamassa, Eric Gales, Chris Stone Ingram, Mike, Albert Castiglia, Arthur Nielsen, and we contacted everybody, and everybody said yes. So then I put the set list together. I got the band together. We went in. We cut the record. We cut the basic tracks in 2 days. I went back to my studio, continued to do overdubs, guitar overdubs. Elijah Niels came and did background vocals. My son, Harry Horowitz, did the horns on it. And then I got sick, and I wound up in the hospital. So the record sat for about 4 months. And so I got out of the hospital, and then my friend V.D. King helped me finish the record. We got everybody's tracks, and now it's coming out.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting story. Now, was there any doubt in your mind that no matter what you were going through, that you were going to get this out regardless of, and if things would have went out, south, that no matter what, people would have heard this album?
No, I knew we were going to get it out. It was just, logistically difficult.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, when you're doing something like this, I suppose a lot of money and time invested and stuff too. I mean, how much does it cost to really put together an album? I suppose it could be $1 million.
$50 million.
And to get all the people, I mean, you're talking big names of blues here.
Well, I'll tell you, in all honesty, all my friends were extremely generous with their time and attention towards me, and I can't thank them enough. I can't thank Joe Bonamassa, Eric Gales, Chris Stone Ingram, first and foremost, Mike Zito, Albert Castilla, Arthur Nielsen, V.D. King, all the people at Gulf Coast, Mark Pushy, Joan Malatotis, Karen, have been amazing in supporting me through this very difficult time and in making sure this record got made and got out. The record is stellar. When I started hearing the finished tracks, I knew I was sitting on gold. When I heard Joe Bonamassa's contribution to I'm Going Down, I went, I have the best song in the genre with the greatest guitar playing in the genre on this song. And sure enough, it was released as the first single and went to #1 on Apple Music. So I have really great expectations and great hopes for this record.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, is this your actual first time actually doing a full-length tribute album to somebody, or have you done? Because I know a lot about your music, but I mean, I don't know.
No, I've never done
albums I've never heard.
done a tribute record to another artist.
Okay, so this is the first time.
I don't think I would want to. I think this would be the only one.
Okay. Now, other than this album, I mean, because I know you, and I know how creative you are, a guy that you are. And during the pandemic, you were releasing new stuff after new stuff after new stuff. Is there a lot of new stuff that you're planning after this album?
You know, I'm coming back from a major life-changing event, so everything's moving slower than it used to.
No. That's but that's important because
But the fires are lit,
Uh-huh.
and my body's getting to the point where I could do what I want to do again, and so I'd say yes. There's going to be an onslaught of creativity.
Well, watching those videos of you kind of relearn to walk again were pretty inspirational, I would say.
That sucked. Didn't that suck?
Yeah, it did. It did because you're one of the big icons, and not just big because of the size, but like big because you've given so much to the music industry, so much, and you're one of those guys that even though your name gets talked about, I feel like your name should be talked about a lot more than it is. You should be. I mean, you are up there, but I mean, like you should be like TMZ should be talking about you like every week.
Yeah, everybody should be talking about me. God damn it. What's the matter with you people? Talk about pop. You know what? Here's how I look at it, man. I put that stuff up because I knew it could inspire people who were having a hard time. Because when I was in rehab, man, I saw people who were completely paralyzed, people without arms and legs, people that had been in fires, and they were working twice as hard as I was. And I went, I have no right to complain, man. I really don't. I may have some problems, and I will try and do the best I can to max out the situation. And that's all you can do in life. And so if it inspires anyone else to go the extra millimeter, sometimes that's all it takes, and not give up. Don't give up.
Well, I know, and I don't know if you're ever a big wrestling fan or not, and I know this is totally off subject, but I like to talk wrestling with some of my people sometimes. But like
not only am I a big wrestling fan, my son is a professional wrestler.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yep.
Is he an independent wrestler, or does he actually work for the big
He's wrestled in the WWE. He goes by the name Tracy Hot Sauce Williams.
Oh, wow, hot sauce. Well, that's kind of an old school name.
He's wrestled at Madison Square Garden. He started out in a troupe out of Philadelphia called Shikara as part of a trio called the Ant Colony.
Okay.
Now, wrestling fans will know this because they were huge. Went to Japan, everything.
Okay. I mean, I'm guessing he must be an indie wrestler then. Because I've never heard the name of AEW or WWE or ROH or any of those organizations that are out there. So I didn't. But anyway, what I was going to say is, being a fan of wrestling, if you probably know or are aware of that, Diamond Dallas Page has a thing called DDP Yoga or DDPY, which has helped a lot of people, kind of like in your situation where people who never thought they'd ever walk again. help him not only lose the weight, but also kind of create a new identity for him. Have you ever heard of that before at all?
I have not, but that's amazing.
Yeah, he's out of Georgia. Diamond Dallas Page. He used to wrestle for WCW back in the day. So World Championship Wrestling anyway. But I bring that up because, I was like, I don't know who the person was that worked with you and all that, but I'm sure they were amazed to see the results, I'm sure.
I've done well. It's an ongoing process, though. It's a long recovery. It's a long recovery from a major spine surgery, up to 2 years, and I'm only 7 months in now. So, but I'm walking again, and I'm getting around, and I'm doing shows, and everything's working. So I can't complain.
So other than music, then kind of cap the interview. Like, what does Papa Chubby or Theodore Horowitz like to do in his spare time? Like, I see you driving around, whatever, whatnot. I mean, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I got a 2025 black Dodge Durango RT with red leather interior. I call it the Batmobile, and I drive around the streets of New York, looking for people who need help.
Okay.
And when I see them, I help them.
Okay. Well, that's kind of nice.
And then I write songs about it. And then when I'm not doing that, I go home and I play with guitars. And I pet my dog.
I've seen your studio from you because you used to do a lot of live videos and stuff, during the pandemic and everything. I remember. And is the studio still the same kind of, or have you done some touch-ups to it?
The house changed up when I got out of the hospital because we had to convert the studio into a bedroom, but everything's still in there. And I've been up and running and, playing drums again and playing a lot of guitar and coming up with ideas. So I'm going to start recording again soon.
Do you have other people that know of your studio and record with you, or record their stuff too, or is it just for your stuff?
Absolutely, I've done a lot of projects in my place. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, because I wasn't sure because sometimes when you have a studio like that, it's like, this is my studio, this is for me, that's it, blah,
No,
blah, blah.
it is. But if it's something I want to do, it's a different story,
Okay. Well, that's good.
But it's not. It's not a commercial. It's not. I don't run a commercial studio.
Okay, so it's kind of private base, basically. I get that.
I did for years, but I don't need to do that.
Well, for anybody that wants to know more about you, and again, Papa and Theodore, I do appreciate this time. I mean, this has been a great interview. For those that want to know more about you, how can they do so?
www.papachubby.com.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate this time, and maybe we'll see you in Fargo this year. Because if you're coming out, I want to be there.
Take care. I'll see you in Fargo.
All right, man.
Bye.
I appreciate you. All right. And that was Papa Chubby, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview, because I enjoyed it very much. We'll see you next time for some great interviews here on Franky Slawson's Renegade Radio.